the beat, I'm about to spaz. And now these niggas know that
Hey, man, we gonna have something special. As I say in every episode, man, something different. We gonna talk about some of everything from politics, hip hop and culture, man, life, man, shit, new music, everything. Y'all tuned in. It's the fam. Man, I ain't gonna lie. Today's episode gonna be like a little different, man. We just came up off the election. A lot of times people don't really like to talk about politics because politics is not really like an open discussion. A lot of times, because everybody got their own different point of views on how they feel. But I feel like 2020 and this year was something different, especially when you was talking about like all the police brutality. People was looking for a lot of reform. You feel me? Justice and stuff like that, like police reform. But there was a lot of bigger stuff that was going on and with voting too. Now, this is the thing that got me. Everything was made to be about the president election, which I feel like was sort of like a lose-lose. You either get Biden or you get Trump. But it was other things being voted on too. And when I heard about that, I was like, yeah, that's a bigger reason to vote. But I wasn't gonna vote for presidential. I didn't really feel too confident in neither one of the candidates. But I'm like, if we gotta pick one, we gotta pick one. But as y'all all know, President Trump, the current president, lost to the, upcoming president, Joe Biden. And this for the first time, it was like one of the longest presidential, you feel me, election, that was, I think ever. Cause normally they have it all tallied up in like 1 to 2 days. This shit took like a whole week. It's crazy. Had to take a pause at the black. Man, it left like the whole country like uneasy kind of unrest, man. You start seeing rallies, all type of stuff going on every day. It was like watching like a series or something. Every day somebody trying to figure out who gonna win what state. Today they might be up, tomorrow they might be down. Like as y'all see, that's what happened with Trump with like Pennsylvania and states like Pennsylvania and Georgia. At the beginning he was winning, he was up, and then towards the end of the week, once they got down to like the nitty gritty of things, when they got down to the 90%, Biden was back up. And those were states where the electoral votes was the most heaviest. I ain't gonna say the most heaviest, but it was real important that those electoral votes got counted. You feel me? And whoever favored that they went in, they had a chance to actually win the presidential election. Now, for me, the whole presidential election, I'm still getting educated on the actual process of the presidential election because it was different than what I, kind of learned from in school. They didn't really teach us the whole aspect of, they got the electoral votes. You feel me? You got we got our votes, then we got the votes that goes on in the Congress and all that type of stuff, right? That's I think it's like the representatives and all that type of stuff. So I wasn't really kind of familiar with that aspect of it, like who votes counts more. But then it was like this year, it seemed like it was more of a media frenzy. For real, like the media was all over this damn presidential campaign. Like I said, it felt like it was like ESPN, like Game 7. You feel me? Every moment was getting broken down. Every state that they was going through was getting broken down. How many points they need, and it was just like the race for 270. That was really like what the thing was, like the race for 270. It was even like a hashtag on Google. But I feel like a lot of people, some people got what they wanted. Some people didn't get what they wanted. You feel me? Some people wanted Trump to be back in office, and some people wanted Biden. And then you seen a lot of Trump supporters. You feel me? They started to protest and rally back in states that they feel like it was heavily dominated with the I think Republicans is red, but a lot of the major cities was blue, and that's how they was losing. Especially so when you look at a state like Pennsylvania, a lot of the state was red, but then you had Pittsburgh, Philly, and another city. I think it started with E or something like that. They all blue. You feel me? But those are the major. You feel me? Those are the bigger cities. Those are the major cities of the state. So I feel like those swung a lot of votes, like just as you seen, like in Michigan. You seen like a lot of red in Michigan, but then when it came down to cities like Detroit and stuff like that, you feel me, it was all blue. And that kind of helped, basically Biden get that extra push to win those states, to win those electoral votes. And I want to say he finished with like 290 or something like that. Trump finished with like 214. But you seen that, like, with how big social media was. I don't know if you remember back in the day, when they had the voter die for the whole Obama campaign. You feel me? I feel like that kind of came back in a sense too this time. You feel me? That kind of came back while you see a lot of people kind of like pushing to kind of advocate to vote, from the hip hop scene all the way down to just social media figures and things like that. Everybody was advocating for the vote, that the vote was going to be that much more important this year, especially with all the police brutality and stuff like that, all this racial tension. Damn, I'm stuttering all over the place. All of the racial tension that was going on, throughout the year and throughout the whole last 4 years. You feel me? George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, those kind of I feel like push the country, but also the black communities to a breaking point. And then stuff kept transpiring. Like as y'all see, Trump lost Wisconsin, but also in Wisconsin, it was a couple shootings that happened in Wisconsin from the protests and all type of stuff. That they made national headlines news. I was out in Minnesota when Minnesota made headlines. I actually I'm actually gonna be able to tell my kids I seen what the riots was like. I seen the riots. I was there. I seen the devastation that happened to the community, and I seen how long, you feel me, how long it took to recover. Y'all can go on Ends Media, you feel me, Ends Media stream if y'all want to check out the photo album on when we was out there with North 4, you feel me, North 4, shout out to North 4, you feel me, North 4, we was out there passing out food, supplies to families throughout the whole recovery process, and they still recovering. North 4 is still out there. You feel me? The whole North 4 family. You feel me? So yeah, we was out there thick, crazy, just passing out food, house supplies, personal hygienes, and personal hygiene products and stuff like that to families, and seeing like the real importance it really had, because there wasn't no gas stations in the hood. There wasn't no grocery stores. It wasn't nothing like that. All that majority of all that stuff either got looted or it got burned down. And to see the impact that it had on our community, and I say like the black community, you feel me? And when I say our community, I mean that's everybody's community too, but most importantly for the culture, you feel me, the black community, it really had an impact on our community because a lot of people lack transportation, you feel me, the resources to really get outside of their community and get those other, you feel me, like me, I had a car and all that type of stuff, so I was able to go to the Costco's and go to the grocery store, but I knew other people that couldn't do the same. You feel me? Because they was catching a bus to even go to the grocery store. They was taking a taxi to go to the grocery store. Now they gotta go all the way across town. You feel me? To the suburbs to try to go grocery shopping. Things just got real limited, and plus they got all this racial tension and everything going on. Man, yeah, the shit was different. I ain't first time experiencing that in my lifetime. I used to hear like old heads talk about it back in the day. You see the interviews, the videos, and stuff like that. But to actually really see it in person, you be driving up the street, you see a whole building on fire. Growing up in Detroit, I seen that stuff. I seen buildings and stuff like that on fire. But actual riot, that was something completely different. Man, I did the black in that one. But like I said, man, that's something I'm gonna be able to live and tell my kids about, and just be able to like say like, damn, I was there. And it's documented. Like, damn, I helped gave back. You feel me? Help rebuild. So going into the whole, as we were talking about politics, presidential election and stuff like that, I feel like all those things that transpired led to the demise of, you feel me, of the dethroning of President Trump, and now making people, you feel me, more eager to get somebody else in there. You feel me, that they feel like that can do a better job or come close to do something even close to even better. But in the midst of all that, though, now we gotta talk about that pandemic money. You feel me? So part of this whole presidential campaign, the reason why everything was moving the way it was moving was because of COVID-19. That's what really slowed a lot of things down. Ballots had to be mailed in. A lot of people weren't going to to the actual voting booths and stuff like that. So this year they had to take a whole different type of approach to how they was gonna count the votes, receive the votes, and how they was just gonna go about just campaigning even across the country. At one point in time, the president himself, Donald Trump, even had COVID-19. So you know it was real, and it's even getting more realer. Like after the election, you feel me? It been a heightened spike. Like by the like by election time, you feel me? By voting time, you feel me? The country started going through another basically. I want to say like not like pandemic. Well, because we already been in the pandemic, but they just start to see a spike in COVID-19 cases to the point where Big Gretch, Governor Gretchen of out of Michigan, you feel me, put a whole shutdown on the city again. They say she's shutting down the city again, and we're shutting down the state as far as public events and things like that until we can see like a decrease in COVID-19 cases, and that's going on around the whole country. You feel me? And during this time of year too, is real big in the flu season and things like that. But a lot of things I was saying just with the COVID-19 during President Trump campaign, excuse me, there was supposed to be a second round of stimulus checks, and the pandemic money got cut short. It was just like the pandemic funding basically all got cut short during the whole last push for the presidential campaign. So I like to see what President Biden gonna really do about that, or what President Trump gonna do on his way out. Is he gonna help the individuals that he kind of postponed just due to the fact that he wants to focus on his presidential campaign, or is he gonna help them out and open up a door for Biden to either carry it or stop? I feel like that kind of forced Biden's hand. Like, so is you gonna keep paying the people, or is you gonna shift the focus? And that was one of the arguments that he was having versus Biden, talking about raising taxes and things of that nature. Biden want to raise taxes and things, which has certain people worried. So money do come into a play because our economy, because unemployment rate and the crime rate always correlate with each other. You feel me? If you know anything about statistics and stuff like that, that's one big statistic. You can look that up. That's a known statistic. Unemployment rate and crime rate go hand in hand. So as long as people is unemployed and not getting no money, you're going to start to see a spike in the crime rate. And if people not working, you got more people with free time and unoccupied time to do other things, man. So I want to see what they're going to do on that note. And then it's just like this whole time, schools, everything, sports, every aspect of our natural life has just been shifted. And I want to see how does the president, the new president, respond to that. Yeah, that's gonna be nice to see. Another thing I also want to see too is just where do we go from here, y'all? And I'm asking y'all, the public, you feel me? Where do we go from here? Like, I feel like the whole Trump tenure taught us something as a country. It's as an individual, like our eyes is open to wake up. Like we still do have different points of views on how we view values, people, cultures, and beliefs. But as a country, how do we move forward? And as a culture, black culture, how do we move forward? You feel me? It just becoming, more self-efficient, self-reliant. You feel me? And how do we make amends of the self-hate? Because that's going to really help self-sabotage. You feel me? That progression, you feel me, within our communities and our culture. You feel me? I really feel like the self-hate can really help sabotage that. And we're going to get more into that in a whole nother episode. But in this episode, I just want to really talk about, the politics of things, man. How do people feel about the whole presidential election, and kind of give my own viewpoint of that. And at the same time, I want to drop some new music. Yes, man, your boy Baz been back in the booth. Man, we back to making music. Man, me and the family, man, we just been creating. And ain't even no we trying to, become the next, Billboard #1 chart Billboard. It's just more so, man, creating, expressing ourselves, man, just utilizing our voices and the platforms that we have created. So, your boy Baz came out with a song, it's I'm on it, Baz, I'm on it. And then, next episode, I'm going to drop another one with y'all. And I got a bro on there too, man. He might come on for a podcast episode and introducing it. So, but on this episode, man, I'm going to be dropping a new single, man. It's Baz. I'm on it. Man, y'all tap in. I appreciate y'all. It's your boy Baz. I'm tuning out. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And don't forget to support. Woo! I'm a little parched. Don't judge that cough. Smoking on the black, I'm a little parched. But don't forget to support. We got the Patreon link below, but we also got the merchandise link below. And we say we are the voice of the culture. And I ain't talking about just us. We're talking about everybody that's a part of the culture. So if you got something to say, if you an artist, business owner, or entrepreneur, go ahead and click those links in the description below and go submit your profile, your artist background and history. We want to let the people know about who you are, what you do, and why you do it. You feel me? So go ahead, share your story, because we are the culture. We are the voice of the culture. You feel me? And hey, it's eating in the streets, man. We all out here trying to make the most of our current circumstance. And I'm out, baby. And don't forget to stay tuned to Baz. I'm on it. Turn the volume up. Go ahead, turn the speaker up. Go crazy.
Yeah, they call me Baz. They fucked up and let me on the beat, I'm about to spaz. And now these niggas know that I'm really on their ass. Can't fuck with you unless you pay me in cash. Light bill due, rent due, I need a bag. I'm riding too fast and I'm hoping that I don't crash. All time high, I'm just hoping that it don't last. Take notes like you sitting in the back of class. But I know you probably ain't even past math, so you wondering how this shit gon' add up. Phone was disconnected, so you ain't get the message that that boy Bass is next up. Sitting down my purse so I can remain blessed up. I know you probably hating, but it never stressed us. Like they can't, I did the race. Now these niggas on Hines catch up. Niggas on the block when they know that it's hot, but how can they stop? They gotta get off the last 30 rock. Just sit back and plot. Just